Seems like we have a lot of racers here today. How you doing?
Good.
I'm Sean. I'm with Junkyards and Barn Finds. We're a YouTube channel.
Junkyard.
That's
This is a junkyard find.
Yeah, this was found in a junkyard.
So welcome to another episode of Junkyards and Barn Finds with Sean, and I'm Sean. So guys, we're gonna, what's your first name?
Mike.
So this is a Pontiac, I want to say Catalina.
Yeah.
So it's Pontiac Catalina, and it was a junkyard find, and they just pulled up. Doesn't sound like a junkyard find, doesn't look like a junkyard find. So maybe Michael talk to us a little bit about his car.
We found it in the junkyard, and my wife and I restored it.
About how long ago?
95.
In 1995. So
yeah,
it was just left for junk at the time.
Well, no, the junkyard guy found it, and then he had it, and we found it.
And where was this at? What state?
Phoenix, Arizona.
Okay, so it was an Arizona car, so it was
Yeah,
at least in good shape then.
And my wife and I took 8 years to restore it in Toledo, Ohio. I brought the car back to optional super stock class NHRA 1961 at Indianapolis, Indiana.
And what year was that? The first year that you raced it?
It was optional super stock class in 1961, and we wanted to represent that year.
Okay.
I was there watching, and I knew what the cars were, so we brought it back to the same rules that optional super stock was.
And what was the first time you put it on the track? What do you remember? What year that was? Like
2006.
2006.
Yeah.
So, and then some of the changes you put on here. Obviously, the interior looks like it's out of the showroom.
Well, it's all original NOS material sewed to the original patterns.
Okay. And then the color on it, is that a
bamboo green, Pontiac original color.
Okay. And so it's green, even though to me it kind of looks yellow, but it's got a little greenish tint to it.
Yeah, it's called bamboo cream.
And then engine, what's the drivetrain?
It's a 421 cubic inch, 2.4 barrel, 4-speed transmission.
Okay. And then what gears are you running in?
456 gears in the back.
Okay. That's why when you were going by, it was hitting a little bit of higher RPM.
Yeah, we have 7-inch cheater slicks on it, just like it would have been raced in 1961.
And it seems like you've raced it since then, right?
Well, yeah, we run. It's called a drag strip riot. It's in Orlando at the drag strip, Buffalo, Florida, once a year. This is our 5th year, and it's a nostalgic event that has gassers, dragsters, funny cars, super stockers, and everything like that, altered.
Now, is there any fiberglass on the car?
No.
Because I would imagine there's not a lot of fiberglass parts even made for this.
No.
So
it's all
steel.
original steel. It's all original metal to the car. Nothing was replaced.
Now, the engines obviously wasn't. So is that what you do? Are you an engine builder by trade or by fun? Or
I've been racing Pontiac since '62.
Okay, so not your first rodeo then.
Yeah, you know. So anyhow, it didn't have an engine in it, and we found the parts and everything. I built my own engine and everything like that.
So do you want to tell me a little bit about the engine?
That's a 421 cubic inch engine. It's very similar to
competition cam, or
it's got
the heads and everything
all
on it?
Pontiac parts.
Okay. Okay. So it's basically it's how you would have built one back in the day.
Yeah.
So you're not doing fuel injection and all that kind of stuff. It's okay. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. So, and you don't even go for shiny stuff.
No.
So it's for racing.
It's all the way it would have been in 1961.
What's this 51 mean, if you don't mind me asking?
That just a number the factory used to put on radiators that they knew what car they would go in.
Okay.
And so forth.
So you really made it like literally,
Well, yeah,
like you. This is like almost show car, race car.
Well,
Even though you run it.
we placed second in a concourse original car.
Oh wow, is that what? Same with like why you put
Right.
the different numbers on there?
Yeah,
That
all the numbers that were on the car, we transferred them back over into this.
Okay.
After we.
So
painted it.
that was all just would be if you had this
Yeah.
car back then, you'd see these numbers. So it's not just you going crazy with a marker, going okay, I need to remember that or anything.
Just copied what was
on there.
On it.
And then you're even because you don't even have the electric fans on here.
No.
It's got
No, it's all
the fan and
basically stock looking.
yeah. And then the headers. Did you have to build those or?
We had them custom built by Mad Dog Headers.
Okay.
They're up in Georgia.
So, and then got those old school dual quads. They always look awesome.
Right.
So to me, I'd rather have than fuel injected cars look nice, but to me, this always looks cool. I don't
Well,
know.
that's the way the class was. You had a 4.1 with 2 4-barrel carburetors.
And are you running points? Are you running points?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's still running
We
points.
run points with a
coil?
CD box.
Okay. Wow. Absolutely awesome. Very, very cool.
And we have a good time.
And it sounded good when I was standing behind you there.
The quickest time we've run with it was 1278 at 110.
1278, 100. And it's got a really high stance, so it's almost like a gasser stance, but it's not obviously a gas.
No,
I've
it's
seen
all-
gassers, but
It's stock.
So that's a stock.
Suspension.
okay.
421?
So,
Yeah.
wow. Well, hey, thank you so much for sharing.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Everything on this car, even look at the chrome on this car is just insane. So obviously I don't know whether they've re-chromed it or not, but this whole car is just so sweet. Let's take a look underneath the suspension. We're gonna climb down under the suspension so you'll hear my old man sounds as I get down here. Oh, and we've got tow bars, which you always need. And as you can see, everything under here. He's got all the paint marks on the springs. Everything on here has been redone down to the specific paint marks and everything else. So this is cool. You have a race car, a drag car that you can take down the track, and also, as he said, it's a concourse show car. Really skinny tires up front. And the body underneath, we're gonna go look at the body because it's painted orange down there where it's mounted up. So we're gonna look underneath it, then we'll go into the interior here. I mean, it's got the drive shaft loop on it. It's got the open headers. You can see all the markings, paint markings on the transmission, rear end. So, I mean, this is like cleaner than Martha Stewart's kitchen under here. Got his street slicks on there. Oh. And then this car, you know, this is kind of like a mullet car, you know, except the opposite. Instead of being business in the front and fun in the back, this is business under the hood and fun on the inside. It just looks like, I mean, Bear's Furniture couldn't have a nicer interior than this. Still has that really beautiful dashboard. Looks like the AM radio is still in it. You know, you got your 4-speed, got your safety gear, but it's just beautiful. This whole car is beautiful. It is mint. And then in the real old school, like we used to do back in the 80s at least, and everybody puts their stickers in the rear window, which I always liked. You put them in the glass, that way it's not on the paint. I love the hubcaps because that to me just like kind of signifies this is how NASCAR used to run, this is how drag racers used to run back in the 60s. They didn't have all the aluminum wheels and everything that you see nowadays. So you guys did an awesome job on this car. It is just is absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
And I don't see a lot of the Pontiacs either, so
No, you don't see very many of these at all.
so your choice was really cool because, you know,
Yeah.
it's not a GTO.
Nope.
I mean, I would bet that half time when you guys are going places, all the cars you're racing against are GTOs or Le Manses.
Well, that's what he had originally, was a 64 GTO.
But
But this thing has been fabulous.
yeah, and the Catalina was before the GTO, so it was the original car for Pontiac.
Yeah.
I know this because I just watched the history of Pontiac last night on YouTube.
Did you? Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty cool.
I
though.
fell asleep to it last night. It was like a 3-hour thing on YouTube on the history of Pontiac, which I didn't know was actually didn't come from Pontiac, but it came from a company called Oakland. The guy who founded Pontiac made Oakland, and Oakland was GM owned in the 30s and the 40s, and Oakland started as a horse and carriage company back in the 1890s, and then they screwed that company up so badly that they actually, when GM had to change the name after the guy who founded it died, to Pontiac, because they went really poor. And then Pontiac at the time was made to be the go-between between the high-end Chevys and the low-end Oldsmobiles.
Yeah.
But this, the Catalina, was actually not its own brand until this.
Yeah.
Because prior to this, it was just a trim package.
Yeah. Just
For what, the Firefly or the Fire something or other. There was something called Fire something, but it was like the one that looked kind of like a 57 Chevy thing. But then this was the Pontiac when they came out to Bonneville and just made it a Bonneville.
Yeah.
So, and in fact, if it wasn't for this Bonneville, guys, if it wasn't for this, there would never have been a Le Mans and there would have never been a GTO, because this is what John DeLorean decided, let's try to use something like this and then make the hot rod.
Did you ever see a 63 Swiss cheese?
No. So.
I could lay under them all day.
But you have an old-time racer,
Old school, yeah.
old school racer, and an old school race driver.
Yeah.
So.
Even down to our line lock, old school.
That's the red button down on the.
No, that's the reverse lockout.
Oh, the reverse lockout.
Yeah,
Okay.
The line lock is actually hooked to the brake, and you just pull the lever down, and you hold it just like a line lock.
Oh, okay.
And when you leave the starting line, you just let up.
You just let it up and then it goes. Wow, cool.
Yeah.
So this is one of the best reasons to live here, guys, because see this, all these cars that you see here and everybody you see here, this is just for breakfast. This isn't a car show. There's no awards. This is called Cars and Coffee, and you have everything from 63 Corvettes to Lamborghinis to race cars. Everybody shows up down here. And this is just for coffee. There's no awards, there's no anything. It's just a drive-in coffee on a Sunday morning. And this is one of the cool things about having a car channel down here in Florida as well. So anyway, if you like this kind of thing, please subscribe. If you like that car, which I love that car, please subscribe. Please hit the like button. Put a comment in if you want. April, should they subscribe to this channel even if they don't like cars today for this one?
Probably just for this one.